This episode is proof that getting what you really want doesn't make you happy. In the self-development, self-mastery, spiritual guru, wellness space, we get told time and time again that we should manifest our biggest dreams and really we can manifest anything we want. And I really want to say, no, you don't. Not that you can't, but that you don't actually want what you think you want. First, you have to know what you want before you can call it in, before it can materialize in our real world. And that requires something that no one ever wants to do, which is deeply listening to yourself and really tapping back in to something that's bigger than you. Most people suffer from this disease of not knowing what they really want, and it causes so much suffering, both conscious and unconscious. I want to use my husband as an example. He learned to ride a motorcycle for the first time 2 years ago, and he was dreaming up his first bike, and he really wanted a Japanese motorcycle, and his first bike is awesome. It's a Suzuki 650. It was the dream first bike for him. And recently, in the last couple of months, a lot of his other motorcycle friend buddies have been upgrading their bike, not just once, but a couple of times. And they are teasing him constantly about, hey, when are you going to upgrade your bike? You have like the oldest bike in the group. And he's been coming home watching more YouTube videos about motorcycles. And of course, he's wanting and desiring his next bike and wanting to upgrade to a bike that would cost $15,000. And his 40th birthday passed, and I felt so crummy that I couldn't afford getting him his dream bike. I wish I had $15,000 to buy his dream bike right then, right now, but I don't. I'm not in that situation right now, and I really felt bad about it. And I know that there are days where he really gets jealous of other guys upgrading their bike, and it really sucks to be someone who wants to see him get everything he wants and desires, because he deserves everything he wants and desires. But deep down, I know that what he wants is not the bike, because if he gets the bike, which he will, I promised him he would get that bike one day. When he gets that bike, he's gonna feel satisfied for a short period of time. But eventually he's going to want to upgrade again, and that newness, that excitement will wear down. So that satisfaction is really not happiness, it's just satisfaction for a temporary period of time. What he really wants is not the new bike. What he wants is the feeling that the bike gives him. That feeling of freedom when he's on the highway or on roads, weaving through a forest, and he's just letting, I don't even know what this is, letting his gears rip, and he's just coasting, and he wants the feeling that he gets when he's on the bike, and it doesn't require a fancy upgraded bike to feel what he feels. He can feel that now on his bike. So what he wants is not the upgrade on the bike. What he wants is the feeling that he feels when he rides on the open road, where he is just one with this machine, and he feels free, and he feels just unstoppable. That is the feeling that he truly desires. And the same exact principle applies to everything we want in our lives. We think we want a life partner or a lover, but what we really want is someone who notices us in the mundane moments. We want someone to be witnessed to and witness in the day-to-day of the monotony of life, not just the big moments that we get to celebrate with our friends and family. The same principle works for watching porn. We don't go to porn because we really want porn and to watch people do what they're doing and take care of our business and have that moment of ecstasy. what we really truly desire and want under that layer, under that hood of porn, is to feel alive, to have a moment of ecstasy in our life. What's so interesting is Dr. K even talks about one of the root problems of porn addiction is this feeling of meaninglessness in life. What we really want is not porn and to have a great orgasm. We truly want to feel aliveness and feel fulfilled. This problem of misdiagnosing what I want has been following my ass since I was 5 years old. The first thing I've ever desired in my life, and still secretly desire in a lot of ways, is an Academy Award. I remember as a 5-year-old watching the Academy Awards, and I've watched it ever since I've been 5. I have always wanted to be on that stage receiving that Oscar. And so much so that anytime I was in the shower, I would be practicing my Academy Award acceptance speech. Ironically, at work a few years ago, I won an award that was called an Academy Award during this corporate conference thing. And they did a whole red carpet and they did photo shoots. And I got to stand with my Academy Award. And in a weird way, I probably manifested that. But anyway, it wasn't the real Oscar that I wanted. But what I wanted ever since I could remember is that feeling of doing something extraordinary. Something that feeling of being on a world stage and being able to inspire millions and billions of people. That's what I saw when I was watching Halle Berry win her award, or Adrian Brody, or Sidney Poitier, or Denzel Washington. I wanted to be someone valuable to the world and someone who created something so masterful that I could inspire other people to do that. And I don't need an Oscar or Academy Award to actually fulfill that want. In my 20s, I was working at this job I absolutely hated in a recruiting firm, and all I wanted to do, all I dreamt about wanting was, I want to be a beauty brand founder. Those were the people that I envied and I was jealous of. I was like, wow, if only I could be a beauty brand founder. And my first job in beauty was actually with Glossier, which is incredible. It was my dream brand to work for. And as soon as I started working in beauty and seeing what founders actually, like, what their life is really like day to day, how little freedom they have, how much of a sacrifice it is, how much time they give up, how much their relationships and their family get put to the side to make that happen, I realized I do not want to do that. So for so many years, even when I saw that, I kept working so hard. I was working myself to the bone, burning out, going from beauty brand to beauty brand, trying to build my own business behind the scenes because I thought that's what I wanted. But at the end of the day, I'm just someone who genuinely appreciates beauty and wants beauty in my life and really appreciates artfulness and having an eye and taste for beauty. And that doesn't have to be something that I monetize. I realized I can make beauty everywhere I go by how I behave, how I show up, how I curate my home, all these things. And so it's just so interesting that I spent like almost 15 years of my career towards this ambition that I didn't even really want, but I never stopped to actually investigate why I wanted it in the first place. I just saw other people have it and how glossy it was on the outside. And once I got in, I just realized, wow, like this is not what I thought it would be. There was so many times in my life where I really craved new friends and friendship. And what I really wanted, to be honest, was connection. And if I was being honest and looking at myself in a vulnerable way, I wasn't connected to myself. So if you do not feel a connection to yourself, to your body, to your own heart, then how in the hell are you going to connect your heart to another person's heart, which is what friendship is. We really need to cultivate that connection first, and then those things that those bigger things like relationships and friendships begin to manifest. Looking past that superficial layer of what we want is going to save you so much time and suffering. 3 years ago, all I really wanted was to be the best podcaster in the world. I looked at podcasts like Modern Wisdom and Know Thyself, and I was just like, oh my goodness, if I could podcast and get the guests that they get, I will be so happy. I will finally feel fulfilled. And the truth is, I don't want to be the best podcast in the world. That's not actually up to me. That's up to the audience. That is up to powers outside of me. Yes, I can white knuckle my way into getting views and do all the little tactics and kind of hack the algorithm as much as I can. But what I truly want is to share my message, to inspire people, to share content and wisdom that moves people's hearts. I want to use my voice freely to share positive messages because I've suppressed it for so long. I want to be heard. I want to share people's stories because I get so inspired and moved by them. That is what I want. So if I am chasing this superficial layer of, I need to be the best podcast in the world, I need to be the next Amy Poehler of Good Hang and win a Golden Globe, which I was like, as soon as I saw they had a category at the Golden Globes for podcasts, my mind just went straight into, oh, that's what I want. I want a Golden Globe. I'm not trying to tell you to not dream big. What I'm asking you to do is dream deep. So many of our dreams are far and wide outside of us. But the deeper we go, the deeper into the desire and the want and what we truly are put on this earth to do, the gifts, the calling, the dharma, all of that, the deeper we go into the layers of want, we can serve and help so many more people. I'm telling you, we don't really want what we think we want. And I've been studying this in my own life, in the people that are closest to me, but also with my coaching clients and people that I've worked with. My last coaching client was someone that came to me who said, I really want to leave my toxic corporate job. I want to be a full-time entrepreneur. And I want to get paid to be a teacher. When we looked at her life and audited all these different aspects, she was getting paid to teach. She was a fitness instructor at a Pilates studio and she was getting paid to do that. But she wanted to get paid for meditation and breath work. So we worked on building offers for her and she eventually started getting paid as a meditation and breathwork teacher. But what she really wanted was to not do things that she didn't want to do. Let me say that again. Her real desire was to stop doing things that she didn't want to do. She, in the past, was a full-time entrepreneur and got burnt out and went back into corporate and felt a lot of shame about that she needed to become a full-time entrepreneur to prove that she had moved past that. But she still works a corporate job. She just actually started a new corporate job that she's so much happier in. She stopped working at the Pilates studio that she was working in, that she didn't want to do anymore. And now she's teaching more classes in meditation and breath work and building community in person. And that was another thing she really wanted. She wanted to cultivate community. She wanted to stop doing what she didn't want to do, and she wanted to build community and teach people how to be present. We found that out because as I was looking at her story and her history, she had recently lost a parent in her life, and that was a catalyst for her to become a meditation teacher. And even in that moment, she didn't know that she was why she felt called to be a meditation teacher, but she listened to that intuition and became a meditation teacher. And her message as a teacher is simple. It's that today is a gift. This moment right now is a gift. Why is she teaching that? Because she values the time that she has on this earth. She knows how sacred time is. She knows how precious time is because she had time run out with someone that was very important to her. I say all this because time is very valuable to her. And so when you take someone where time is their highest value and they're spending it doing things they don't like, it crushes their soul. And so now she has more flexibility. She has a more stable job that's not burning her out. And she has the ability and the flexibility to use her time to do the things that she truly loves and that gives her fulfillment. I wanted to give you an example that was really rooted and grounded in someone that isn't me, because I see this time and time again with so many people. We are all struggling with actually knowing what we really want. Fulfillment happens when we acknowledge that we are actually where we want to be right now. Something, again, with this client that I was working with was, she's like, I really want to be a teacher. And I was like, you are a teacher. You don't see yourself as a teacher. But she was already teaching. She was already getting paid to teach. But the identity was disconnected from how she saw herself. And so we all do that. We all say like, oh, well, I want to do this. You're already doing it right now. What you really want or you're looking for is this plaque, this credential, this thing. Some people are looking for it in terms of an audience. They're like, well, I really want an audience. Well, that is a different thing than wanting to create. You know what I'm saying? So we really have to be so conscious and careful about if the wants are coming from an external source versus how we see and perceive the want is actually what truly allows us to feel fulfillment inside. So many of us want to leave a job or get a relationship or make more friends or have the career of our dreams. And it becomes these things that we have to go out and get. But when we start moving the compass inwards, we realize that we can build that right now. So many of what we want out of any of those things is freedom, is love, is connection, is wanting to be seen. But we can find micro moments in our day-to-day to allow those things to happen. If you want more freedom and more flexibility, then you have to learn that when you're in a remote job that you hate, you have to take time to go out on a walk. You have to take time to go take a break and drink some water and take care of yourself, that you're going to take a lunch break, even though it's not the norm in your culture. All of these things are small micro ways we can cultivate freedom in our time, in our day. So we have to stop thinking that getting what we want is going to give us the feeling that we desire. The feeling has to come first. The seeds have to be cultivated deep within our conscious and subconscious mind before it can ever become something that we see and that other people see and project onto us. And the last message is that your dreams don't get gifted to you. You already have the gift. You have to unwrap it. And to unwrap it is the key. What is the wrapping of your gift and all the things that you think you want is just the wrapping, the packaging, the paper, the superficial thing. But we have to take time to unwrap our gift. And inside of ourselves is the thing we want the most. It is right there when you look in the mirror, when you close your eyes, when you feel your heart beat. It is there. It is there now. What you want is what you already have right now. And when we truly get that through our heads, into our heart, you feel a peace that you can never chase, never buy, never acquire. It is a peace like no other. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Monsoon Season. I am your host and your guide, Aisha. I'm so grateful that you're here. If you want to go deeper into the work that I do, feel free to subscribe to my newsletter on Substack, subscribe to this channel, to this podcast. All of your support means the absolute world to me, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. I really want this episode to be sharp, clear, and cut like a sword. Ooh, this background looks bare as fuck. Okay. Allergy medicine. I was just getting a sandwich at Publix, and this lovely girl making the sandwich said, "I love your eyebrows." And I said, "I love your face." Why did I say that? Sometimes I'm just so weird. I love weird. A little afro fell off. Let's do this.